welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to explore, well, a really crucial story, actually. It's about the very first disciples of the Buddha.
And the start of the Sangha, the monastic community.
Exactly. The very beginning.
Yeah, and it's fascinating because it's not just, history. It's about this incredible shift from people being deeply skeptical
Right.
to having this profound understanding. They became the very first members of this whole new way of life.
So we're looking at excerpts from The First Disciples, Birth of Sangha at Sarnath. And our goal really is to dig into how these first 5 monks ended up embracing the Buddha's path.
And how they became the foundation, the bedrock for a spiritual tradition that's, lasted thousands of years.
Okay, so let's start with who these 5 were. Kondanya, Bhaddiya, Vappa, Mahanama, and Assaji. What was their connection to Siddhartha before he was the Buddha?
They knew him well. They'd spent 6 years together, 6 really hard years.
Right, during his extreme ascetic phase.
Exactly. They were his companions in that, severe self-mortification. They honestly believed back then that this harsh way was the only path to find liberation. They were all in.
So what happened? What caused the split? I remember reading it was a specific event.
It was. It was when Siddhartha realized that extreme path wasn't working and accepted some food, Sujata's milk rice. He started regaining strength.
And the 5 monks saw that as what? Giving up.
Completely. To them, it looked like he'd just caved, abandoned the difficult quest they were all on together, a betrayal, really, of their shared goal.
Wow. So their reaction must have been pretty strong.
Oh, immediate.
Yeah.
They felt he'd slipped back into, indulgence, so they just left him.
It's like that.
Yep. They packed up and moved to the deer park in Sarnath. Their plan was to carry on with the strict practices, but, without him.
You can almost feel their disappointment, can't you? How
Yeah.
that deep conviction turned into a feeling of, like, being let down.
Absolutely. It shows how strongly they held those beliefs.
Okay, so fast forward. The Buddha is now enlightened. He heads to Sarnath, and these 5 monks see him coming. What was their plan then?
Right. They saw him approaching, and they made a pact. They agreed, quite firmly. Okay, we don't greet him. We don't offer him food, no water, not even a seat.
Treat him like someone who failed.
Basically, yes. As someone who had given up the true path, they were ready to just ignore him, essentially.
That's not quite how it played out, is it?
Not at all. It's quite remarkable, actually. Despite that very clear agreement, that firm resolve, they just couldn't stick to it.
What stopped them?
It was his presence, just him. He wasn't the emaciated ascetic they remembered. He radiated this profound serenity, dignity. There was an aura about him, apparently.
So the change in him was just undeniable.
Completely undeniable. It was overwhelming. This wasn't someone who'd failed. He seemed utterly transformed, radiating this internal purity.
And their plan just evaporated.
Melted away is how it's often described. Instinctively, without even thinking. They found themselves getting up, offering him water, preparing a seat for him. Their resolution just, poof, gone.
That really says something, doesn't it? About the power of, I guess, enlightenment made visible?
It really does. It's a powerful illustration of how that inner state, that liberation, can manifest outwardly. It was compelling enough to make even these determined skeptics question everything.
Makes you think, What kind of presence is so strong it makes you instantly ditch a plan you just made?
Yeah.
Yeah, quite something.
A profound kind of spiritual gravity.
So after they welcome him, the Buddha gives his first sermon, the Dhammacakkappavattaphatthana. Explain the middle way, the 4 noble truths. This is the big teaching moment.
Yes, the turning of the wheel of Dhamma.
Who got it first?
Yeah.
Out of the 5 who had that breakthrough.
That was Kondanya. As the Buddha laid out the 4 noble truths, suffering, its cause, its end, and the path to its end, something just clicked for Kondanya.
It wasn't just intellectual, though.
No, not at all. It was deeper. He is said to have gained the Dhamma-eye, the Dhammakaku. It's described as a direct, intuitive insight, seeing reality as it is.
And he had that famous exclamation, right?
He did. Whatever is subject to origination is subject to cessation.
Which sounds simple, but what does it really mean?
It's incredibly profound. It captures the truth of impermanence, Anika. But more than that, it implies that if something arises, including suffering, its very nature means it can cease.
Ah, so it contains the seed of liberation within it.
Precisely. It means nirvana, the end of suffering, the breaking of the cycle of rebirth, is actually possible because the conditions that create suffering are themselves impermanent and subject to cessation. Kondanya saw that directly.
Wow, that really is an aha moment. The kind that just changes your whole worldview.
A complete paradigm shift, exactly.
Okay, so this moment with Kondanya understanding, it's huge. This is where the three jewels come together, right? Buddha, Dhamma, and now the Sangha.
That's the moment. With Kondanyanya's insight, the community aspect begins. He immediately asked the Buddha for ordination.
Then the Buddha.
He just said, "Come, bhikkhu," which basically means "come, monk." Simple as that. And with those words, Kondanya became the very first Buddhist monk. The Sangha was officially born.
Just like that. And the others followed soon after.
Yes, over the next few days. The Buddha continued teaching, elaborating, and one by one, Padilla, Vapa, Mahanama, and Asaji also gained the Dhamma eye.
They all had that same profound insight.
They did, and each, in turn, was ordained. So now you have the Buddha and his first 5 enlightened disciples, the first arahants.
It's incredible. From these 5 individuals, this whole monastic tradition starts, a living lineage to preserve and pass on the teachings.
It's a pivotal moment. The seed from which this massive, enduring community grew, it really highlights the power of that initial teaching and insight.
Yeah, it really makes you stop and think. A global spiritual tradition, millions of people over centuries, all starting with these 5 guys in the deer park. And that one core understanding. So wrapping this up, what's the key thing to take away from this story of the 5 monks?
I think it's that they represent the first proof, you could say, that the Buddha's path worked, that his enlightenment wasn't just for him.
Right. It showed that liberation, this profound understanding, was actually accessible. Others could achieve it too.
Exactly. Their journey, from being pretty hardcore skeptics.
Yeah, they were ready to snub him.
Right. From that skepticism to achieving enlightenment themselves and then forming the first community that laid the foundation, it proved the whole thing was viable.
It gave the Dhamma community to carry it forward.
Absolutely essential. Without them, without that first Sangha, would Buddhism have survived and spread the way it did? It's hard to imagine.
So, final thought for everyone listening. Think about those foundational moments. Things that seem small or specific when they happen.
Like 5 people having a realization.
Yeah. But they can send ripples through time, shaping history, shaping how we understand ourselves and live together for literally thousands of years.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a small seed like that? Something that started tiny but grew into something huge, something unexpected.
Worth pondering, definitely. How small beginnings can lead to immense, lasting change.